Okay, I just want to do a quick video on volume profile and low volume nodes and perspectives and interpretations of it, because I see a lot of people talking about low volume nodes as being like a resistance or something that creates, that is a resistance. Whereas really, like the way I look at it, or one of the things that was most obvious to me when I started looking at volume profile was, to me, it's clear that you have the point of control and the value area where price is generally agreed upon, and then you might have a low volume node. Like this is the current low volume node that's relevant for gold, really. Um, and and to begin with, when I first began to trade with profiles, the strategy that I made up was entirely around trading from one agreed area of balance to another one, because I figured it made sense that if price left this area of agreed price, like there was no resistance, like if there's no trades here, there are no people agreeing to sell or agreeing to buy previously. So why should they again? Why wouldn't it just be the case that price moves fast from one area of balance to the next area of balance, the next place where people started agreeing on pricing before? So to me, it made sense that price would move swiftly through here and to find a new balance. And then you've got a lot of other people online kind of basically saying almost the opposite, saying that the low volume node is a resistance because if a big trade happens in here, then you're going the other way. Yeah, if there's something big in here that happens when you get to low volume node, that's going to have a much bigger effect on the change on the price and potential change in price if it happens within this area where no one else is trading. So there's a lot going on here. So if you're moving out of an area of balance and you go through a low volume node, if you have big volume come in, that can affect price massively. If you have big sells come in, that can affect price massively. So it can therefore look like it's creating a resistance level. But that's not to say it will, because if there isn't a participant that comes in and does that, then it's just going to go straight through, straight up to the next area of balance. So is it support and resistance? No, it's a low volume node. Can it be used to create resistance with fresh volume coming in? Yeah, absolutely. But does that mean that it's reliable as a trading strategy or something to build a methodology on? Probably not. So yeah, interesting perspectives on volume profile analysis and low volume nodes. I still like. Oh, look, I'm trying a little donkey. I like considering the low volume node is an area that has little resistance to pass through. It's easy for price to move across here because there is nothing previously agreed in terms of the asset being valued at that price. Yeah. So that's why I can see that people use big trades and try to anticipate that it's going to create a resistance, and it could, but you really don't know it. And I think the people that reckon they do, then they're not necessarily realistic. And there's also the fact that there's all the order flow platforms, the order flow information that you can look at and that you can use, that I use with Cluster Delta, for example, and they're good and they're useful and they're fine, but they're not everything, because you can't. It's still very hard to accurately interpret what's happening in real time fast enough to be able to respond to it. So for me, I just like to see this as a space where I know there is currently, based on the data and information I've got historically, there is little agreement in price at this area. Yeah. And I do believe in the imbalance wanting to be filled, for sure. But I think it wants to be filled like that, not by a tap and a big trade and off we go because someone's manipulated the market or some big trade has controlled everything. I think that mindset or that philosophy is a little bit naive, but that's my perspective.